Welcome to the Money Pig Podcast, brought to you by Goodwin Investment Advisory, where our mission is to lead people to financial peace, independence, and generosity. I'm your host, Reid Trego, and today on the show, I am joined by Joe Beckford, certified financial planner professional here at GIA, and we are going to discuss Social Security's role in retirement planning. Welcome, Joe.
Thanks, Reid. Awesome to be here to talk with you about this today.
I am so happy you're here. So, Joe, this is the question everybody wants to know. It's Googled so much. We need to answer it. Social Security, will it be there when I need it?
That's not a loaded question. But
It's an easy one.
The short answer is yes.
Okay, next question. I think there's a big however coming.
Maybe we should unpack that a little, right?
Okay,
you can hear
go.
a little bit of a butt in my voice. But will it be there to the extent that everybody thinks and wants it to be there is kind of a question mark. So I'll tell you one thing that we encourage all of our clients to do is go to the Social Security website and establish your account and look at what your benefits are anticipated to be, right? Back in the old days, Social Security Administration used to mail out statements. Well, they're saving money and they don't do that anymore. You have to establish that and get online. So if you do that and you go online, you're going to notice a disclaimer. Do you want to hear the however?
I do.
Okay, well, here it comes. You'll see a disclaimer within your Social Security statement, and the topic is entitled, Social Security will be there when you retire.
That's good to know.
Yeah, right?
And this is at ssa.gov.
At ssa.gov,
Here
once
we
you've
go.
established your profile. This is going to be part of the statement that you get. And it's going to say, I'm quoting here, the Social Security taxes you pay go into the Social Security trust funds that are used to pay benefits to current beneficiaries.
Current.
So, Reid, when you and I are working and we're paying Social Security taxes, are we socking money away for ourselves?
I don't think that's what that means.
That is not what that means. We are paying for the people who are taking distributions right now, right? So we're relying on the next generation. It goes on to say, the Social Security Board of Trustees estimates that based on current law, I'm going to underline current, the trust funds will be able to pay benefits in full and on time until 2034.
That's 12 years. 11, actually.
So what happens in 2034? So it goes on to say in 2034, Social Security would still be able to pay about $780 for every $1,000 in benefits scheduled. Learn more at ssa.gov/thereforme. So there's a whole topic, and you don't have to establish your whole profile to read up on this. But under current law, the way I read that is, if we don't do something in this country, we're looking at paying 78 cents on the dollar to retirees in the future after 2034.
You're really uplifting. Joe. Okay. Well, let's just say they're going to fix it. I mean, the politician, well, we won't even get into it. I'm not going political. We'll keep that separate.
Keep that separate. But I mean, here's the reality, Reid. America's graying, right? We're becoming older as a nation. We're one of the countries that has a relatively low birth rate around the rest of the world. It means our population's getting older. More and more people are going to need Social Security. And that factor is baked into what I just read to you. That's part of why something's going to have to be done.
Right.
As people get older, this is what I always tell clients when I get asked this question. What do older people do more often than younger people?
Vote.
You are so right.
Yes.
Thank you. I didn't feed you that answer at all.
You might have.
They vote, right? And wherever you stand on the political spectrum, if you don't like entitlements, everybody likes Social Security.
That's right.
Don't touch my Social Security. That's the third rail. Somebody needs to fix my Social Security. So I personally really believe something's going to be done to make this better than 78 cents on the dollar.
Okay.
But that's just where we stand right now. So that's what we plan for.
Awesome. So when we're planning for retirement, because everybody really does like Social Security, I think for the long term, we factor that in. Is a Social Security average payment, is that enough to live on for a retiree?
I would say no.
Okay.
If you just do a quick Google, you're going to realize the average Social Security payment across the nation is about $1,500 a month.
Okay. I don't want that lifestyle.
No. Who wants to live on $18,000 a year in the U.S.? We're not talking about retiring to Thailand. We're talking about living in the U.S. on $1,800 or $18,000 a year. That would be rough.
So interesting. Okay.
Now, that's not everybody. Higher earners, the more you earn, the more you're paying into Social Security, the more you should expect. So If you're somebody who's making, let's say you're making $150,000 a year on average, and you're making that for a long time, your benefit's probably more like $3,000 a month.
Okay, got it.
Which is still probably not the lifestyle that you're looking for in retirement.
Not if you were used to making that income when you were working.
Absolutely.
Okay, got it. And then, so how do they determine this? This has got to be a simple calculation.
Well, you just said simple and government in one
I did.
fell swoop, didn't you? No, it's actually a really complicated calculation where you they take an average of your highest 35 years of salary, and they come up with a factor and say that's what you would be eligible for if you take it at your full retirement age.
Which is 67.
For right now, it's most people, that are 67 years old. That's right. You can take it as early as 62. You'll take a penalty, and that penalty stays with you for as long as you take Social Security. Or you can wait until 70, and then you get a bonus.
Okay. So it's a lower payment when you take it early, bigger payment if you wait.
That's right.
And there's like some qualification, like you have to work so many quarters. What is that? 40 quarters? Is it something like that?
Yes, it's 40 quarters. I mean, in layman's terms, you should figure I need to work 10 years before I should expect I'm going to draw anything out of Social Security.
And the Social Security benefit payment that you receive in retirement is based on any income you earned over those 35 years, the average of all that income you earned where Social Security taxes were withheld, right? So if I understand this, W-2 income, Social Security is withheld. And like if you're self-employed, you're going to have like a self-employment tax where that Social Security is withheld from that too, right?
That's right. Okay. Yeah, exactly. That's good to say because there are some people who don't pay into Social Security. Some self-employed people, I mean, if you depending on what you're declaring as your income, you have to be cognizant of what am I sending to Social Security. But there are some people also in certain professions that don't pay into Social Security. Typically, those people get a pension in lieu of Social Security. So you have to be cognizant of that. There are government jobs, for instance, that actually don't pay into Social Security. Those people are not going to be eligible for Social Security when they get older. So.
Gotcha, but they have some sort of pension. And I also know, just from a conversation with the CPA, that passive income is not susceptible to self-employment tax. So that kind of income, I guess like rental income or something like that, if you have a rental property.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Wow. Okay.
That doesn't count. That's keeping you alive today, but it's not paying in for tomorrow.
Oh, it's amazing. And hopefully that rental property continues to pay so you don't lose that income when you retire.
That's a great point. And you asked earlier, is Social Security going to be enough to live on? And the answer is no. And it was never intended to be. It was always intended to be just an adjunct. It's a safety net. It's a helper. We really encourage our clients to have diversified income streams in retirement. You mentioned rental income. That is a huge one. That is wonderful. Not everybody has the stomach to be a landlord, and I get that, but there are a lot of ways to invest in real estate that don't require you to be the one fixing the water heater. There are ways to do that and still get that passive income in retirement. That's a great way. Have your 401k, your 403b, some sort of employer-sponsored plan, money coming from that potentially. Investments that we might be managing, having a multi-pronged approach. We look at Social Security as just a piece of the puzzle.
That's amazing. Great conversation because as financial advisors, we manage and rebalance portfolios. That's automatic as an investment advisory firm, right?
Right.
But the real value is in these types of planning conversations that are so personal and unique to each individual and all of our clients. Joe, thanks so much for helping us out with Social Security today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Reid.
I feel like an expert now.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. You do the next one on your own.
Okay, thanks. You'll be back.
The Money Pig Podcast is hosted by Reid Trego. Goodwin Investment Advisory is a registered investment advisory firm regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission in accordance and compliance with security laws and regulations. Goodwin Investment Advisory does not render or offer to render personalized investment or tax advice through the Money Pig Podcast. The information provided is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial, tax, investment, or legal advice.